And
So
Guru
you
Nanak's, I know every month there's an acknowledgement, but this is the month of his birth, and that time we take time to honor our religious backgrounds. No religious community has a monopoly on the truth.
Absolutely.
Every religious
Absolutely.
community offers truth into the center, so Christians and Muslims and Hindus and Sikhs and Buddhists and Jain and everybody adds something, and our job is to listen, because I can learn from everybody. My life is better when I know more with other people.
Well, you are definitely, I'm impressed that you are on top of things and you know your riding people and their occasions. That is a plus. Being a first-time MP, you are very well equipped with the knowledge. So if you allow, we'll take some studio audience questions. Please, go ahead.
Mr. Rob, what you have the program for youth in your Liberal Party?
The question is about youth programs. Obviously, Canada has an aging population, but among the new Canadian communities, high numbers of youth. So this is a very important question. It's important for all Canadians, but I know among newer Canadian communities, it's very important. We want to keep kids out of trouble. And I say busy kids stay out of trouble. They stay in school. So we have a number of things we need to do. One has to do with finding a way that if you've got the grades, you get to go to school. So we have to increase financial assistance to make sure that kids can stay in school longer. That's a federal responsibility. One of the problems is that youth programs are mostly city, partly provincial, and small amount are federal. But on the federal side, what we can do is help with post-secondary education. It is a promise we're making that we will find greater ways to assist kids to stay in school longer and not have the debt load that some kids are carrying these days. Also on that, and it's a bit of a disappointment that Justin Trudeau had a motion in the House of Commons that the Conservatives defeated, but we're going to bring it back, which is to establish a national youth program like Katimavik used to be, which was an exploration program where kids from across the country get to know each other. So you have a work experience in usually a volunteer agency, but in another part of the country. So if a kid from Quebec can go to Alberta, a kid from BC can go to Nova Scotia, and we have an exchange program where you do two things. You're doing some good work in a community. I'd love to have some kids from Saskatchewan come to Don Valley West and work in the after-school program. They do two things. Kids in Saskatchewan might not know Muslims. They might not know Pakistani Canadians. It gives them a chance to know them, get to know Ontario. Everybody should know Toronto. It's the heart of the country. So I want kids from Saskatchewan to do good work and to get to know each other. So that's a program that Justin has raised as a youth critic. I'm going to pull on it. The other thing is that our leader has talked about is that kids born in Canada need an opportunity to serve outside the country and to explore. So that kids could take, it's a program we're promising that would have a year or two where someone finishing school can go to Africa, could go to Haiti, could go to South America, could go to another part of the world that needs help and learn about it. And then come back to Canada with that experience and that wisdom. In new Canadian communities, you don't have to explain that because people came from somewhere else. But your kids, your grandchildren will have been born here. They need international experience. That makes Canada better. It's the Lester Pearson view of the world. If you know about Africa, if you know about Asia, the subcontinent, if you know about the world, it builds peace. Because then you don't want to kill the people you know. I'm kind of an anti-war guy.
Okay, Mr. Rob, I have two questions for you. The first one would be that I have been through the university and have seen an increase in the tuition fees in the last few years. I have been involved in the protests and some activities just to bring the tuition fees down for the students. So is there anything being done in that regard?
On tuition fees, the province is the one that regulates that, not the federal government. I'm not passing the buck. What the federal government can do is look at the program of student loans, Canada's student loans program, and the way it needs to be paid back, And I think we have to expand the grants portion of that program and look at how we do a longer term repayback program. The second thing has to do with tax credits on things like textbooks. I think we have to investigate if we can't, we have to give more tax credits on your supplies and your textbooks you need to go to school. I think the federal government has to do that. We do have a role. I was just lobbied by CASA, the Canadian Association of Students, whatever that group is, and they pushed hard on this, and I said I will fight for that.
My second question is that I have been I've been personally in touch with international students. I have my friends, and they pay more than double the tuition fees than the regular local Canadian students. And and also if they want to look for work, they can find job outside of the university or campus, and they're just allowed to work within the that setting. So sometimes I have seen that they find it hard to just to cope up with the financial circumstances. So is there anything done for the international students in that sense?
I think that raises a thorny issue because what I have said is that international aid and post-secondary education are linked, but they're not the same. So if we want to have an international aid program to help students come to Canada, that should be a program that Canadians together decide we want to do. If we don't want to do that, then I understand, I don't want to mix up the tuition fees. Right now, we want Canadian kids to be able to go to schools in Canada. That's a goal. We also want to help international students. I don't think they're exclusive. I think we can do both, but we can't just say we're going to lower those tuitions for international students unless we decide we want to help kids from Africa or this kind of stuff. Frankly, if a very wealthy kid comes over to a university, I don't mind charging them more. But a poor kid from a poor country, we should help. Absolutely. So this is my dilemma. I want to keep spaces open for Canadian kids. I'm not embarrassed about that or shy about that. Their parents are paying taxes. They're paying taxes. They've got the grades. I don't want to squeeze them out by flooding our system with international students. But I want some money to help international kids get an education. Two things.
Okay, in conclusion, I'm pretty sure the audience and the viewers would learn a lot of things. But in conclusion, I would like you to add that what is the overall role of your office and what should the people get in touch with, what issues they should get in touch with your office, and what is the way of getting in touch to begin with?
Absolutely. You can check on my website, roboliphantmp.ca.
Okay.
That's easy. We can give that to you. My goal is not just to help you, it's to get you involved. My goal is to say, you're a Canadian or you're going to be a Canadian, take that seriously. Read about it. Get the newspapers. Watch the news. Think. Don't believe everything you're told. Remind yourself that you've got to do the hard work of being a good citizen. We'll help you with that. We'll give you the information, but ask the questions. Go to meetings. Get involved in a political party. And it can be any political party. Frankly, I want people involved in all political parties.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Liberal Party first, but other parties are okay. Get involved. Know your politicians. Get them to know you and your concerns. That's what this is really about, is to say, get on board. Don't be a bystander. Democracy is something we have fought for. Keep it. The only way you keep it is by being involved.
Thank you very much, Rob, for sparing time today. I know you have commitments all over, and coming out this early is a job in itself. I thank you once again, and I thank your staff for promptly attending our calls and coordinating with us. Thank you to them as well. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we did materialize something fruitful from this program and some knowledge was passed on. If you have any concerns or questions, we'll have the website for the MP on your screens. Please feel free to get in touch with them or send us your feedback. Thank you.